A very good morning to all my dear students of class 10. How are you all? So, in this month of July, both the teachers and the students are busy for practice test slot 1, slot 2. Some of you have given slot 1, some of you will sit for slot 2. So, in this month, we are really busy preparing things and all. Still, we have to start doing the literature chapters. And you know, there are many literature chapters in class 10 board syllabus, okay? So today I will teach you two stories about flying, where you will find two stories. The first is His First Flight by Liam O. Flaherty, and the second one is The Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth. So students, both the stories are motivational stories, are inspiring stories. So today I will teach you the first one, His First Flight, and tomorrow I will teach you The Black Aeroplane. Okay. So His First Flight. In this story, we find that there is a family of seagull where there are 6 members. Now, the mother seagull, the father seagull, and there are 4 children. Okay. Now, all of them can fly high. They can catch their own food. They can live on their own, except the young son of the parents, that is a young baby seagull, which is a boy, that cannot fly. Now in this story we will get to know how the baby seagull overcomes all his fear and finally learns how to fly. So in our lives also, students, all of us have to fight with our own fears, and finally we have to overcome the situation and be successful in life. So while reading about this story, you can relate your own struggles in different fields of your life with the struggle that the baby seagull was facing. So on a particular day, in order to teach him how to fly, the other members of the seagull family took him to a place where they were flying on their own. The other siblings of the seagull were also flying on their own, and they are catching their own fish, and they're having them. But only this little seagull was not ready to gather his own food himself. He was depending on the food that the other members of the family used to bring for him. Now the family, both the parents and the siblings, wanted him to be self-dependent. So all of us know self-help is the best help. Okay. So in order to teach them, they had to become harsh. They sort of ignored him at a point of time, which really hurt the young seagull, the boy seagull, the baby seagull. He was really very much sad that his father, not even his mother, was paying heed that he cannot fly. So he was very hungry, he was very tired. He thought as if he will fall asleep, he cannot move. In that condition also, the other members did not help him, not even the mother. So that situation forced him to overcome his fear of flying, and finally he learned to fly and he was successful in his attempt. So in our lives also, students, we have to go through trial and error method. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we win. If we fail, then we should learn from our mistakes and if we are successful, then we should know that how to how to maintain, how to sustain with this success in our lives. So one success uh, uh, cannot force us to become overconfident that in the next case we will not succeed. So it's a constant struggle that each and every life on earth, whether it is animals, birds, human beings, are having. Okay, so I will start from the beginning of the text. Um, it's page number 32 from your first flight book. Okay, so let's see. You just follow the text. His first flight. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sisters had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. So, what was the main problem with him? That his fear. He became afraid. When he thought of stretching the wings in order to fly, he became afraid. So he had to overcome that fear of flying. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away, back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away, he failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother come around calling him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it, standing on a rock, while his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau, midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. So, this is the story. This is the situation in which the baby seagull was. So, though his brothers and sisters are having shorter wings than him, they can fly. Their parents are cackling and cheering them in order to teach them the perfection of flying. So, students, what our parents do. Our parents send us to school. Your parents force you that learn swimming, learn dancing, learn this and that. That's the strategy of survival. Your parents sometimes send you to different places to face the world. So, in order to live in our lives, we need to face challenges, we need to face the world. So, our parents only want us to be self dependent. The same case happened with the seagull also. So, he was watching that the other siblings of his was flying, and the parents were trying to perfect their flying so that they can have a safe life, safe future, so that in future all the all the siblings of the parent seagulls can have a smooth life, so that they never face any difficulty in leading their life. So this particular seagull always stayed back, and something was there which was forcing him not to fly alone. That is his fear. Okay, he needs to overcome that fear. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stepped slowly out of the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Still, they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers of his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at the piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak and now again to wet it. So now he is watching that after reaching the plateau, all the family members are flying, catching their food on their own. Nobody is paying any heed to this baby seagull. Even his father was cleaning his wings. His mother was having a notice on him, but still, she was also having her own food. This sight tormented him, made him sad that none of the family members is paying attention to him. So he was sort of sad, depressed that nobody is paying attention, and he was hungry, he was tired. So at this point of time, what he had to do, he had to overcome his fear. Okay. So now he tries. Ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Now, God, she screamed back derisively, but he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak, and he waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. With a loud scream, he fell. Monstrous terror seized. He fell outwards and downwards into space. Then a monstrous terror seized him, and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast and feathers, and then under his stomach and against his wings, and he could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air, and he was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wings once more and he soared upwards. Ga 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 ga. Goth, his mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered with her another scream. Then his father flew over him, screaming. He saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and commended himself to dive and soar and carve, shrieking shrill. So this is the experience of learning how to fly for the first time in his life. So after a lot of trial, and when he was very much hungry and tired, then he had to get his own food himself. At this moment, he flew up, and he tried, and he felt the wind passing through his stomach, the other wings. So it was a thrilling feeling for him that he learned how to fly. And suddenly he saw that all the other members of the family came near him, and they are making different screaming sounds in order to cheer him also. So He could feel that his mother was there, his father was there, his other siblings were also there. Now, there is not even in his mind that he could not fly. Now, he is strong enough to fly forever in his life. So, that is what his parents wanted to teach him. Okay, and finally, he had learnt it. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commanded himself to dive and soar and curve, shrieking shrilly. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him, with little ridges moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. His parents and his brother and sister had landed on his green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. Exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no farther. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him. Their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight, so he could do it. He had made his first flight. So all the members of the family, including his siblings, came there, cheered him, and he learned how to fly. So in the story, we get to know about another thing also, that in our life, students, our real friends and our family, maybe they're harsh at times, but they really care for us. So only the sugar coated words, and only if somebody is providing food and other help to a particular person or any animal, that's not the concern that is expected. Our family, our closed ones, our friends, those who really care for us, they maybe maybe they are not always helping us. They are forcing us to face the world on our own, but their main intention is to teach us how to be self-dependent. So the role of family, not only him, the whole family was very much happy to see his success. So that is what he had to learn. So the inspiration, the motivation from his family, that is what is needed. So in our day-to-day life also, your parents sometimes scold you. Maybe there is a fighting with your near and dear ones, quarreling and all. But at the end of the day, family is the only strength, and good friends are the only strength to us. And this is the story. This story is not about family and all, but the story is about, this is another aspect of the story that is offered by the author. But the main thing that we need to learn, the life skill, the values that you students as young teenagers should learn. So never to succumb to failures, never surrender yourselves to failure. So we should always try. Try is the only thing that we can do. So students, this class became a bit lengthy. Please have patience and listen to it. It had to be lengthy because literature syllabus had to be, I could have divided into 2 classes, but it had to be done hurriedly. It's a long video. Please watch it patiently. So next day I will teach you the other story of it. Okay, so bye for today.